This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at the West Coast, USA. Map can be downloaded at simplysafemods.com, and when you download this map, be sure to open up the zip and extract all of the included mods within the download. There are 14 mods, including the map, in total in the download. There is no need to extract and place into the mods folder the file list. Now, if you are playing other CCS 101 maps, you may be prompted to update the mods as you put them into your mod folder. I would suggest making a different mod folder for each CCS 101 map because there are some changes to some of this production elements that you may or may not want to have changed in your existing playthroughs on other maps. Now, in addition to needing to extract all of the zips from the download and place into your mods folder, within the map itself, you're going to find a text file. And within that text file, you're going to find descriptive information about the map. It is strongly encouraged that you take a look and read over this. There is far more information here than I can put in the description, but this will basically explain how the map is to function, some of the intricacies of the map gameplay. I'm going to try to go over all of this information in the video, but quite frankly, I know most people don't watch the entire video, so here you go. This is your chance to learn how this map works, included in the map itself. Up the zip, find the README file, and read through it. It's going to save you a ton of grief and a ton of worry. Or, here's another option, watch the darn video. So some highlights here. Map does not include sugarcane. This map has a built-in geo. Map includes several individual grain bins, and these grain bins will accept only one crop at any one point in time. Wish to put a different crop in the bin, you must remove the crop that is already in it. In order to fill the crop, you're going to need to either use the included backhoe auger or farm king auger. In order to get the crop out, typically you're going to need to use the included Grant auger. Map includes the ability to make compost, but first you need to make pre-compost at the Razwood facility. All of the farms are pre-built on this map. All of the farms include buildings that you can sell or purchase back, amongst many other things. So please take a look at this README file if you run into questions or problems with the map. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. Now, unlike other map videos, we're just going to go ahead and leave everything checked because sometimes there are little bonuses included in CCS 101 maps with respect to DLC equipment. We're going to uncheck seasons. Go ahead and pull up the log and watch things load in. Map does include the ability to bale corn stalks as straw. Use those at your cow area, or you can sell them at a heating plant. Loading in all of the placeables, all the buildings, all the sell points, and starting equipment on new farmer mode. So when we load into the map, start down here at the tourist center. We're at the beach. And basically the only piece of equipment in every play mode is our old pickup truck. The truck has a whopping 5,000 hours on it. In new farmer mode, which is where we are, we do have some equipment up at the shop, but in the farm manager or start from scratch, this trusty pickup truck is the only piece of equipment we own at the start. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. As I said in the intro, this is basically a Ravenport edit. Look at the PDA, you're going to say, hey, that's Ravenport. Well, darn it, yes it is. But you're going to see there's lots of other icons scattered around the map that was not on Ravenport. First up, this map does not include sugarcane, as I've already mentioned. The map has a included geo. Did you use should you choose to use a different geo, you will not magically get sugarcane back. It has been physically stripped out of the map. Take a look at the lands area. You'll see that we start out even in new farmer mode, owning nothing. No land is owned at the start. Reason for that is that we have 4 pre-built farms that the player can select in their starting of the map. Also have a small horse area and several production areas on the map. Maybe the player wants to start at one of those. So CCS 101 does not basically give you a starting farm and make you start there. Another reason is all of these starting farms are pre-built with equipment, but with buildings. Catch is, you can sell those buildings should you wish. Problem is, if you buy one of these and then want to sell it, the game is going to force you to sell all the placeables. Kind of annoying. I just want to sell the land. I don't want to sell the placeables. So be careful if you buy something and then you want to sell it later. The game is apt to force you to sell all the placeables, which you can indeed do. Take a look at some of the farms and the farm prices here on the map. Down here at the typical starting point for Ravenport, we have an arable and chicken farm. Costs $649,000. Now the cow farm to the north, $809,000. Across the street from the cow farm, we have a sheep farm, $405,000. And up on the hill by the sheep farm, we have an old pig farm for $666,000. And by the biogas plant for $722,000. Adjacent to the biogas plant is a small horse area for $168,000. Some production elements have been added to the map. For example, there is a flour mill for $26,000. There is the Razwood facility to make pre-compost for $88,000. Make compost, you're going to have the pre-compost facility, and you're going to need to own the biogas plant because that is where you're going to put the pre-compost, compact, cover, and cook into compost. Beside Razwood is a pair of greenhouses that you can buy, put manure or compost as well as water into the greenhouses and produce some semi-passive income. Other production areas include a corn dryer, which you're going to find down here, for $208,000. And then an orange grove facility right here for $302,000. And one final production element, zoom in here at the milk sell point. A little spot here for $5,700. This is going to let you basically produce evaporated milk. Take a look at some of the other land prices. We've got big fields like Field 7, $333,000, and Field 8, $670,000. Got some large grass meadows like this area south of 11, $432,000, or the area north of 8, $288,000. Then we've got some other fields to the north, modest size fields like area 4, $154,000. Then we have smaller fields to the south, $70,000, area 22, $127,000, or the small fields here at the chicken farm, field 26, $1,000, area 25, $7,000, and area 24, $30,000. Take a look at our prices screen. We're going to see that we have 2 main granaries sell our crops. Then we've got some scattering of other sell points that are going to specialize in some other areas. Root crop sell point for our potatoes and sugar beets. Cotton sell for cotton, but the wool shippers are going to want our wool. Farmers market is going to accept our eggs as well as our oranges. Here we have the corn straw. We'll sell at the wood chip sell point. compost is available to be sold at the compost sell point. Wheat flour is going to go at the pallet sell point, as well as the evaporated milk at the pallet sell point. And then we have dried corn we're going to sell here at the West Coast Granary. Map does include support for straw harvest, but only to sell straw pellets in at the wood chip sell point. That there is no built-in place to buy or to sell hay, straw, grass, and silage is the ability to sell straw at the wood chip sell point individually, as well as wood chips. You have on new farmer mode from starting equipment here at the shop. On farm manager or start from scratch, we do not have any equipment. There are no animals owned at the start because we don't own any animal pens, and the map does include contracts. Now, since we are in new farmer mode, let's go ahead and take a look at that starting equipment. Start out with the T5 100 and the T7 290 tractors, ranging horsepower from 99 to 288 horsepower. The New Holland TX32 harvester and grain header. We have our old trusty pickup truck, the SEK 802 trailer, Corn Champion 5-row corn header, have the Kuhn Performer 4000 cultivator, Vanderstand Spirit R300S seeder, and the Amazon planter, and the Kuhn Deltis sprayer. Have the Kuhn fertilize spreader and the New Holland disc bind. And then, if we have the Anderson DLC, have the Anderson bale trailer, have the New Holland roll belt, front loader arms, pallet fork, and header trailer. Now we're going to see scattered around the map other items that are not listed in our owned items shop that we can make use of, but we can't sell them. Go here to our placeables and see that we do have the ability to buy all the custom animal areas that are scattered around the map, as well as all the other things placed around the map. Corn dryer, orange trees, lights, water tank, workshop items, greenhouses, all of the various custom silos, as well as the Razwood facility, fillable fuel tanks, all of the custom sheds that are scattered around the maps on the various farms purchased here, and the custom farmhouses that are used on the map can be sold and purchased. Go ahead and get set up for the fly around, and we'll take a look at the map that way, and then we'll jump in our handy dandy Mahindra and do a drive around. Get a little bit of altitude here, and let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the beach. So one of the things you're going to notice on this map is it has been cleaned up. Beach has been cleaned up. Pier has been cleaned up. Map in general has been cleaned up. There isn't trash all over the place. That is something commonly done on Ravenport edits. But yeah, we have a working, proper sanitation department here that cleans up the trash and basically has a little bit of respect for the place we live and work. Here is really, really nice. If you come down here at night, it's all lit up. Also a beach patrol helicopter that's going to be crossing up and down the beach on a schedule. Unlike some other maps where the helicopters just patrol endlessly, this uses a timed schedule so that basically you only see the helicopter at certain times of the day. Here we have one of our sell points, West Coast Granary. Across the street from that, we have the ability to buy bulk feed. And you may notice that the decorative John Deere tractor and auger wagon are currently parked underneath the output. This is what is done when these areas are closed. We fast forward time a little bit. We're going to see that they basically open, and when this facility is open, then the static object is moved off to the side. Now this facility is open, ready for business, and the object that was blocking the trigger is now moved out of the way. I find this commonly on all of the sell points. So if you go to a sell point or a buy point and find that your fill trigger is blocked, well, they're closed for the day, and you're going to need to wait till morning. Here we can buy bulk fertilizer, and at this point, most of these facilities are probably going to be open. Get fertilizer from under the green belt there. Let's go ahead and go the other direction. Around. We have our log sell point. Trigger for our logs. And then activation icon is in the building. It's kind of hidden away. If you want to sell logs, you got to go inside the building, actually sell logs. This is not a working wood chip sell point. Wood chips are sold at a different location. That here in a little bit. See off in the distance, we have our custom train. Train on this map is not drivable, simply decoration only. And it is also on a schedule. Actually, multiple trains come through the map at various schedules going either direction. I will say that this is loud. If you do often watch these videos with headphones, you may want to turn down your volume right about now. Like I said, train is on a schedule, and well, it just vanished because of that schedule. So you will see some interesting things that will happen from time to time if you do fast forward clock. Here we have our dairy. Dairy has two areas. One, we have bulk milk sales around the building here. And two, as I said when we were looking at the PDA, you can buy the evaporated milk facility right here, and then if you put your milk in this area, you'll get evaporated milk pallets that'll come out on this side. We move over to this area, we have the greenhouses and Razwood facility, as well as the token Dollar General. Dollar General is right here. Greenhouses you will have to buy, as I said. Comes with this shed. Greenhouses can then be sold. Go ahead and get a little money added to our bank account. And if we buy this particular area, now see in our garage all the starting equipment we just talked about, as well as the machinery hall and a tomato and lettuce greenhouse is right here in front of us. So when you buy the areas, you can then sell the buildings on the areas if you should so wish. Of course, at any point in time, you could buy your own greenhouses and put down one. Next door to that, we have the Razwood facility. Once again, if we buy the Razwood facility, can now go into our garage and sell Razwood facility if we should so want. We'll talk a little bit about the Razwood facility later on. We have one of our grain sell points. Across from our grain sell point, we have an old rundown gas station, now been converted over to a farmer's market. Farmer's market is going to accept our eggs and oranges. Again, blue truck is going to be over top of the trigger when this sell point closes. Across the river, we have the flour mill. We need to bring wheat, barley, or oats to the flour mill, and then it will start producing flour pallets. Area also needs to be purchased in order to work. But unlike Razwood and the greenhouses, this cannot be sold. I also mentioned that the evaporated milk facility needs to be purchased, or it will work. Head over to the biogas plant. We're going to need to also own the biogas plant if we want to make compost. That is because of the 3 bunkers here at the biogas plant, one of them is specifically reserved for compost production. I want to cross-contaminate. Bunker here on the left is for compost only. Our pre-compost goes in there to make compost. Trigger. And then these bunkers are going to work for half. Traditional bunkers are on the right. One on the left is for compost and compost only. Other than that, we've got our typical Ravenport biogas plant. We have a digestate pipe and our digester. Now, included with the biogas plant is this big building. And as I said, we're going to find scattered around the map some equipment that we can use even though we don't necessarily own it in our garage. And this building includes some of that exact equipment. If you have the Kloss DLC activated on map loadup, you're going to have the Kloss Scorpion, bale spike, have the Anderson bale trailer if you have the Anderson DLC, New Holland wheel loader and bucket, have the Pottinger Faro. I believe this is part of the Alpine farming expansion. Have that, then you'll have the loading wagon. Faro is part of the Alpine farming expansion. Notice we're not owned it. Don't have it in our garage. Can't sell it, but we can indeed use it. And then if you own the Kloss DLC, you also will get Axion 100. See, use this equipment, we just can't sell it. Just think of it as equipment that the biogas plant lets you use on loan. Behind the biogas plant, we have the horse pasture. Horses will also make manure. We'll take a closer look at those later. And a little shed. One of our other grain sell points is east of the biogas plant. And then we'll start to look at our pre-built farms. We're going to take a much closer look at each farm. We do our drive around. We have the sheep farm. Small, old pig farm up on the hill. Around the corner, we have the cow farm. And then down in valley here, have the arable and chicken farm. So we're going to take a much closer look at all of these farms here in a little bit. Up the road from the arable farm, we have the corn dryer. Take wet corn or standard corn and convert it to dried corn. Corn dryer is going to take propane also. Talk a little bit about that in a little bit. Here we have the wood chip sell point. Now this is going to take wood chips, straw bales, straw pellets, as well as corn straw. Trick. You have to put it in the hopper. Okay? So if you bring wood chips, you're going to have to unload them and put them in the hopper. Bring straw bales over. You're going to have to unload them and put them where? In the hopper. Pays decent money, but you gotta do a little bit of work. Here we have both the cotton and wool sell point. Cotton is sold in this bay, and wool is sold in this bay. Now here at the restaurant, get water out of this water tank. Then we have our orange groves. Grove or orange orchard down here. We make orange boxes, and then we can sell those at the farmer's market. Fuel station, and then shop. I've lined up all of our equipment that's basically been gifted to us if we do new farmer mode. Shop does have open and close hours for the maintenance aspect. Hill from the shop have a sell point for compost at Organic Solutions. Back compost. You also have a buy point for bulk liquid fertilizer and herbicide at Agricum. And if you have a trailer that can transport propane, buy bulk propane at Propane Sales. Still a little bit. We have a bulk lime purchase point here at the Lime Depot. And for anhydrous ammonia, have the buy point right here. Unlike some other maps, anhydrous is an actual fill type. It is not just liquid ammonia or liquid fertilizer. If you want to use the anhydrous to apply anhydrous to your fields, and the act of doing that is basically giving you a fertilization state, you're going to need to download an anhydrous pack. Find that over at nexusmods.com. And that is pretty much the overview of the map at a high level, quite literally flying around the map. And now we're going to go into much more detail by driving around our little Mahindra. Go ahead and get a little closer look at all the various sell points and other things here on the map. Let's double back and head down to the Compost Sales, liquid fertilizer, and herbicide bulk buy points. And this is where, if you have a trailer that will accept propane as a fill type, you may have to mod a trailer to do this. You can basically buy bulk propane from here. There is not included propane tank mod with the map. Don't worry, as I've mentioned earlier, you can buy propane pallets here at the shop. You can buy $4,200, a 2,000 liter propane tank. Slide your forks on that and put it on a trailer, or transport it on forks over to the corn dryer, the only place on the map that requires propane at this moment. Also buy tanks of anhydrous at the shop, 2,000 liters for $3,200. In the Agricum building, you're going to have the ability to buy in bulk liquid fertilizer and herbicide. I don't recall at the moment which bay does which, but one bay does one bay does the other. And organic solutions, around back, this is where we're going to bring our compost when it's time to cash in our black gold. Not our liquid gold, our black gold. Packages Inc. is going to be a location that's going to be for some transport contracts. I'm going to double back here in a moment. As I mentioned in our fly around, you can get bulk seed from this building here on the right. Wholesale seeds. There. And you can get bulk fertilizer from this particular building over here by the railroad tracks. Bulk solid fertilizer out underneath here. And this is also one of our two main grain sell points. Don't forget, all of these buy points and sell points have open and close hours. Over here we have shipping portal. This is where we're going to bring our pallets. So pallets of evaporated milk are going to come here. Pallets of flour, I believe, are going to go there. Go up the hill here. We're going to get to the sawmill. And this is going to be where we drop our logs off. And then we're going to have to come in here into the sawmill building proper in order to actually sell the logs. Here. And then we have a wood chip buy trigger where we can purchase wood chips from here. Pull in under here and buy wood chips. may possibly be able to purchase wood chips at a cheaper rate than you can sell wood chips at the wood chip sell point. Possibly. Maybe. You should give it a try. Don't think this is going to be easy money because remember, you have to put wood chips in the hopper at the wood chip sell point. Head on over here and we'll double back again to check out the lime buy point and the anhydrous buy point. Where we're going to be able to buy bulk product. Up the hill here we have our lime depot. We can buy bulk lime. Then right next door we have the anhydrous fill point. Now, just the same day that I'm recording this video, John Deere Mod hit the mod hub that has tanks. Trailing tanks that look like they should be anhydrous tanks. They will not work on this fill station because they're configured to fill with liquid fertilizer. This is an anhydrous fill station. It fills with anhydrous fill type. So only tanks that are configured to fill with the anhydrous fill type will work here in this fill point. Now when you apply anhydrous to your fields, we'll get a level of fertilization. So yes, it acts like a fertilizing state in game, but it is not the same fill type as liquid fertilizer. Trying to be extremely clear with that. Find a mod that works with the anhydrous fill type over at Nexus Mods. Here we've got our fuel station, and something that's interesting to note is the price that's on the sign is the price you pay at the pump. Of course, everything in-game is calculated out in liters. Price here at the pump is gallons because that's how we measure things in the US. But if you figure out the price per liter and basically do the math to convert that to gallons, that is the price that you're going to be paying at the pump. Nice little detail that is in all CCS 101 maps. Now here by the restaurant, we have an older water tank. You can fill water from here, should you so wish. The reason you might be interested in water is right down the hill we have our orange grove, our orange orchard, if you will. And these orange trees require manure and water. Manure and water, and you get a crate of oranges per tree. 100 liters of manure, 100 liters of water. Once you buy this, okay, now if we go into our garage, we're going to have a lot of orange trees. We can sell all of these orange trees if we want, and this former orange grove just be a nice flat area. So maybe you're not interested in oranges. Maybe you want this for something else. Sell your orange trees and have at it. Maybe you want more orange trees. Well, we already talked about this under miscellaneous. Put your own down. Boom, right there you go. Put orange trees wherever you want. You also have a shed that's down here that is usable, but do note the shed is not on owned land. You can't sell a shed, but you can use it. Let's make our way down towards the old New Farmer start location on Ravenport. That is now an arable and chicken farm. Before we do that, let's check out the spinnery and cotton sell point. They have been split up here at traditional spinnery. We're going to sell wool inside here. And you're going to sell your cotton inside there. Stay inside because there's the trigger. Actually inside. Okay? Same with wool. It's actually inside. Gotta work for it. Come in here with a giant trailer of wool. You might not be able to back in under there. So just be aware. Before we get to the corn dryer on our left, head up the hill and talk about the wood chip sell point once again. Here we are at the heat and energy. And in Ravenport, the bale sell point was at this building. That is not here anymore. Instead, we have the wood chip sell point. Sorry about that. Which will take our wood chips, our straw bales, and our corn straw. But it needs to be put in the hopper. Okay? If we look at the trigger, it's in the hopper. Not on the ground, at the hopper. You get to work out how you get it in the hopper, and once you get it up to there, it will sell. Come down here to the corn dryer, and all of the production on the map is Global Company free. Don't need to put Global Company into your mod folder. Will all work without Global Company. Bring your corn, your wet corn if you will, down here and dump into this area. First, buy it. Somewhere around here, I just don't. Our propane goes in here. Propane, there. Oh, it's on the other side. Here's where you bring your corn. And you'll see propane corn, and we get dried corn. Dried corn is going to come out of this spout here. So if we didn't own this area and we came up to here, we would not have seen this pop up. That is an indication that you haven't bought the production facility yet. You can't use it unless you own it. Genius concept. Say so myself. All right, so let's head on down here and let's talk about the arable chicken farm. A little bit more details. So we've got 2 Butler bins and a GSI bin. These do have product in them in a new farmer mode. Walk up to the output area. See, this has nearly 200,000 liters of lime, 82% full. We're here to the Butler, into the output. This one has 170,000 liters of corn, 25% full. And this one has 179,000 liters of corn, 26% full. So the way the Butler bins, GSI bins, and the other bins that are independent on this map, Butler, GSI, and Wetzel bins, is you have to fill them from the top. And you empty them bottom. Now the GSI bin has an auger high enough for most trailers. Probably not the absolute biggest, tallest trailers, but most trailers. And the GSI bin is going to hold all your grain crops, but it's also going to hold seed, fertilizer, and lime. Butler bins are going to hold your traditional grain crops, as is GSI bin and the Wetzel bin. Small GSI bin is the only bin that also holds seed, fertilizer, and lime. Down here we have the information about how much each of these bin holds. 392,000 liters. 667,000 liters. And 123,150 liters. Capacity of these has been calculated based on its physical volume inside. All of these sheds are usable, unlike the base farm on Ravenport. Come in here and make use of every single building, including this white garage. You can open the doors and make use of that. We have our farmhouse. All the farmhouses on the map have interiors. Go into them. You notice we don't have a sleep trigger. We don't have a sleep trigger because we don't own the farm. Buy the farm. And now that we own the farm, we have our sleep trigger. Something else now that we own the farm, our garage has suddenly gotten a lot bigger. Every building, every bit of farm junk is on this farm. Every light pole is now owned and in our garage where we can sell it wish. Rundown barn here. Store stuff in. Know how well this would work for bales and seasons, given the body roof. We have our chicken coop. So our eggs are going to spawn in here. Outside here is where we buy our chickens. 25 chickens will go in this area. This door. Side here, we have our food trough. And that is pretty much the chicken coop. Another garage over here. Already seen that building. And here we have a workshop. We have a fuel station here, and this basically will allow us to fill diesel. We have a fill trigger here on the side and a empty trigger here at the actual pump. Big red barn. Farm would not be complete with a big red barn. Big red barn is usable. Perfect area to have a bale shed. And then we have the farm junk. And buried in the farm junk, we have a perfectly usable but used Fiat tractor. Now you might do a little off-roading and figure out how to get out of here without selling the farm junk. Depending on your luck, you may be just as inclined sell the farm junk and have a nice easy way of driving out. If you are also inclined that you would like to do something else with this space, feel the fence is in the way, well, that's fine. Sell the fence too. And there we go. And that is the arable chicken farm. This is a water tank here by the well. Let's go ahead and go up the hill and check out the dairy. Let's head up this direction. I think this winds away up the hill. I hope it winds up the hill. Now on Ravenport, this was where an old Spanish-style mission was. That's been replaced, and a dairy farm has been put into place. And just like the arable farm, the dairy farm needs to be purchased before you can do anything with it. And once you purchase the dairy farm, everything will be sellable. Go ahead and buy the dairy farm. And we have a sleep trigger in the house. Once again, there we go. And the dairy has a fermenting silo. What you need to do is bring grass or chaff to the fermenting silo. In fact, I believe it has some already in it. Got 100,000 liters of chaff or grass in it. And at this point, 16,000 liters of silage. Will make 8,000 liters per hour. But if you play with seasons, do note production speed will vary depending on your season duration. Yes, pipe is kind of low. Pipe will work for all of the in-game and Anderson feed mixer. The way this works is you're going to want to bring your trailer up and unload here at the blower. Want to park a tractor here. You don't need to worry about it because this has an electric motor attached to the blower. And the way this works is you unload into here, and then it blows it up into the top of the silo. They say pretty small window to hit, and it is really designed for those mods that have the side discharge on them. It is kind of more of a traditional American style chaff wagon. Or what you can do is here under belts, included with the map is the backhoe belt. Basically position this on the ground with this, okay, in there, and then you can drive over the belt and unload onto the belt. Belt will then unload into there, and there up to the top of the silo. Got sheds we can make use of, bale area, dairy barn. Around back we have our slurry and our manure. Side here we have our straw and food. If you have the animal pen extension mod enabled, got your water valve here to fill your water trigger. Then we have our milk trigger right here. And I believe our cow where our cows are. I think they're right here. Yep. And we can get our cows. Also right here. So we have cow buy point, delivery point, milk trigger, and water trigger, and food trigger. This will hold 50 cattle. Here are the smaller Wetzel bins. And you can pull a regular smaller trailer up underneath these, as opposed to needing a Brandt auger to empty. Still fill them from the top. Again, you fill all of these single bins with either the backhoe auger here or Farm King auger right here. And on the GSI bins and the other bins, use the Brandt auger to unload them. You would put the hopper right here under the output pipe. You would enter this. Got a gas engine you would turn on. You would enter this and then do R to fill. Pick. Basically start filling, and then you'd have your trailer underneath here to then basically dump into the trailer. Pretty cool process. That is dairy farm. We'll head down the hill to the sheep area. Whoa. Again, by the farm. Farmhouse with a sleep trigger. And this particular sleep trigger is over here at the bed. Maintenance shed. Got a nice bale shed there. Equipment shed. go in any of those. We have our diesel tank here. Our sheep pen. 70 sheep for this particular pen. We have our food trough. Our wool spawn point. And around the side we have our water trough. There. More machinery sheds. Nice barn that we can make use of. Could we wish. And then a pair of GSI bins. These bins happen to have, in new farmer mode, 110,000 liters of wheat. And 130,000 liters of sunflowers. Really remember to look and see what's up in those little bins at the cow area. Let's go check out the pig farm. And then we're going to double back. Animal dealers and the biogas plant. We have a small pig farm here. Going to be doing any big pig operations. Long machine shed here. Shadows. Way down the other end. Another machine shed. Have our manure and our slurry for the pigs. On the side, have our pig food trigger. Have our buy trigger, 15 pigs. And we have our straw trigger, all in here. And our water trough is there for animal pen extension, or basically here's your water trough. Put in there. Another nice old workshop building right here. Old rundown barn. I don't know if you really want to put straw bales in here. How well they'll be protected from the weather. And your farmhouse for the pig farm is down the hill. A little bit removed from the Piggly Wigglies. And the sleep trigger is sleep trigger's upstairs. Let's go. Here's the step. And there you go. Sleep trigger's all the way inside, up here into the bedroom area. And those are basically the 4 pre-built farms As I've said before, all of the farm buildings can be sold once you buy the farm. See, our garage now is chock full of various buildings. Bins, other things. Now have all 4 pre-built farms. Double back to the grain mill, another sell point. Notice this is the end of the line for the train. The train that we saw earlier does not come up this direction. Train cars is just decorative. We have our sell point here. Head down to the animal dealer. Animal dealer does have a few tricks up its sleeve. So right here we have a area to buy a very cheap rate manure, purchase manure, very heavily discounted. This chute here is where you can buy cows. Other side of the building we have a slurry buy point. Again, very, very low rates. Root crop sell point here. Then down the hill, we have the small animal barn. And the small animal barn is where you're going to buy your pigs and sheep at this chute right here. You will not be able to acquire horses. That is because the map's really designed around being as realistically possible. And with seasons play, the player doesn't own horses, basically board horses by other people. Buying a horse for free at the animal dealer didn't make sense. The way you basically get your horses is at the horse pen, horse stable, I guess you should say, right here. Here we have the horse area. Again, else, buy it before you can use it. Now that we've purchased the horse area, hold 4 horses. Hold your horses. Bad joke of the day. So we have our straw trigger. Here we have our hay trigger. Hay's for horses. Bad joke number 2. 3. We have our oat trough. We have our water trough. And if we have animal pen extension, valve is over here. And these horses have a trick up their hoof. That is that they also produce manure. Get out right there. In addition to the horse pen is a small garage over there. And once we bought this area, we can now sell the horses or the garage, should we so wish. Now let's talk about the biogas plant. So just like we have a free fiat at the arable farm, that is not in our garage. Remember, take a look at our garage here. Over here to where all the equipment is. That Fiat is not listed. So we can use it. We can't sell it. Okay? You don't want it. You have to go in the XML and delete the line items associated with the Fiat. At the biogas plant, we've already talked about this. We have the Kloss, Scorpion, wheel loader, bale trailer, forage wagon, and the Kloss Axion. Also not owned by us, but usable by us. We've already talked about the 2 silage bunkers, as well as the compost bunker. And the need to own the biogas plant in order to use the biogas plant. And for anyone that hasn't used TCS 101's pre-compost and compost production, you bring pre-compost here, dump it in the bunker, and compact it, level it, just like silage. And when it's at 100%, you cover it with a blanket, let it cook until it's done. Ding! Take it out of the oven by uncovering the blanket, and then you can sell it down at the Organic Solutions sell point in town. So it's good money, but it's not easy money. You do have to do a little bit of work for that money. Head on down the road here, and let's talk about the dairy a little bit. I know it's a long video, guys. Almost done. Almost done. A lot going on this map. You may also notice the road stripes are yellow. I believe Ravenport, the road stripes were white. Stripes are now the proper American color roads. Road paint. Well, as you've probably already seen, power lines and power poles run all over the place. So here we have the dairy. Talked about this a little bit. The hometown dairy is where you sell your bulk milk. Around back. Feed the thimble, the needle. You're going to sell your bulk milk. And then if you purchase the production facility over here, you've already purchased it. $5,700. If you purchase this facility, bring your milk to this location, it will start producing. Hit the trigger. Yes. Milk input, output is evaporated milk, and it comes in pallets. You sell your pallets in town by the railroad tracks. Pallets are going to spawn over here as loading area, unloading area. A few more areas to hit. And we're going to make our way up to the flour mill on the other side of the river. And the flour mill is going to accept wheat, barley, or oats, as well as diesel. I'm going to dump our grain up here. And again, you have to own this area. So wheat, barley, or oats, and diesel. Get flour, pallets of flour. Flour pallets are going to spawn over here. And the easiest place to put your diesel is on the other side of the building. Come back in this green tank. And for whatever reason, Coastal Flour is not connected to the main power grid. Need the diesel to run their external generator. Powers their whole facility. Head over here to the farmer's market. Farmer's market is where we're going to sell our eggs. We own chickens. And if we own the orange grove, orange orchard, we're going to sell our oranges here at this old gas station that's now a farmer's market. There's the trigger. And Coastal Feed is going to be a sell point for select grains. Dump station for Coastal Feed is here. And interesting enough, Coastal Feed offers bulk pig food. Buy pig food from here. Oh, got fresh blacktop on top, but they don't seem to be too worried about the dirt road on the way out of here. Pretty rough. And then the last two points of interest on the map are right here. You have the Razwood facility and the greenhouses. Razwood is the final production element of the map. You have to own it, use it. And Razwood takes straw, corn stalks, sugar beet, potatoes, and manure. Any of those, as well as diesel. And once you provide one at the bottom and diesel, it will start producing pre-compost. You also have to turn it on. Once you add product, you have to hit I, basically to turn it on. Can't be turned on because it doesn't have product. This is your dump for the product. Belt here is where you're going to get your pre-compost when you are done making it. And the green tank around back is indeed where you supply the diesel. Last area that we're going to take a look at is a pair of greenhouses. These are pseudo-passive income. You can buy and basically reap money per hour, but either manure that you can either produce on your own or buy for really cheap at the animal dealer into here. Also, if you have compost, add compost into here. And then you'll want to put water in the back. And once you do that, then your greenhouses will be up and running and giving you a little bit of money per hour. Then there is this shed here. It's going to provide you a place to put your equipment. Wish to keep equipment over here for the purpose of... Did I not buy that yet? Buy it then. Use your equipment here to store it for Razwood, greenhouses, or, quite frankly, be a perfect base of operations to start your gameplay. Got a decent sized shed here. Pretty easily get this up and running with water and manure. And you can either buy Razwood and basically start making some free compost. Then buy the biogas plant to make compost. Or whatever. Oh, this was a light. Outside. Alright guys, so that is going to do us for the West Coast USA, map by CCS 101, a Ravenport edit. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the West Coast USA as a map, as a representation of coastal California. And until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.